Oh God, it's you.
I love the shirt, brother.
Thank you. I gotta, what's the word? Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once here.
I don't know if your shirt or my shirt's more evil.
Add into the call. And oh, will you not scream, please? Thank you. Of course he doesn't listen. And we have a special guest whom I will add. Alrighty then.
Get Manlow?
I did.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
There we are.
Call to Manlow failed. Let's call again.
Probably dancing too long. I dance like when you call. I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta answer that shit.
Oh man. Call failed again. Fine. I will remove him from.
Hold on.
group.
No. Wait a minute. Add people to this call. Manny.
Alrighty then. Man, how do I get a Shattered Soulstone shirt? I work here.
He used to be, yeah. Ask. I know. We Nevik put it together. It's his art. He put the whole thing together. He put the shirts up on like Cafe Press or something. I think you should ask Nevik if it's still there. And the idea was to wear them at BlizzCon when we all went in 2013. So, yeah. So we did that, and
I might be unworthy after all then if it's one of those deals.
well, it was just, we decided that we needed a shirt because we were going to BlizzCon. It wasn't really like only for BlizzCon kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then I wore a shirt to BlizzCon 2014, is the last one I went to.
Yeah, I don't know.
But ask Nevik if he's still got it, up somewhere for sale. We all had to buy them, so I mean,
Just sent him a message a little while ago. I think he might not actually be online.
Oh.
Let's see.
I added him, and now he's grayed out, and I don't know how to unadd him.
Are you adding him to the call, or what are you adding him to?
Yeah, to the call.
Okay.
Skype. Great pre-show. Okay, there. I don't know. He's unadded now. All right then. Although I don't know if I had the right one because he has like multiple. I don't know. It's one I've used before.
He just had me add him.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like, okay, I'll let you get it, and then it didn't work. So I was thinking, well, he might have. I don't know. He might have had to go get some chopsticks or something.
Well, I'm talking to him on Discord.
What are you saying?
I said, try again. I kept trying video.
Is there a limit to how many people you can add to a call for video? No? Okay, so that
no.
is not the problem.
I was going to say, I've been in a call with like 8 people on Skype before.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've actually played with like like a bunch of people. See, he's in the chat. Said
Yeah.
hi.
I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
Funny thing is, he's a technician, so.
He's replying. Oh, all these YouTube people, they're just like, what's the deal, man? Come on, are you gonna start or what? Tried the
Wo ist
video and
das?
audio.
Wo ist das eines Mitte, bitte?
Oh man. So, yep, if you want to know what I've been doing all weekend is making a whole lot of flashcards. It's crazy. It's taken up
Wait.
all of my weekend. It sucks, actually.
When you picked those up originally, I thought that was like Rubik's cubes for a second.
Really?
I was like, we're making a Rubik's cube? Like you could have just went to the store and like bought one. Like,
Oh,
would have been really
yeah,
easy.
dude, I got my Rubik's Cube right here.
I'm just saying, like I was like,
That's in the drawer. That doesn't sit on my desk. That's in the drawer. But, oh man. No. So what have you guys been up to while we wait? We can get some kind of conversation going, keep some people entertained. Because I don't edit these YouTube videos. They just go on raw.
I got Primal Nemesis Bracer.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Hi there.
Hey, there he is.
I'm sorry, who are you? Why are you here?
Oh, he's got his Rubik's
Welcome to the
Cube,
pre-show.
going old school?
Yeah, I got bored while waiting, so I.
Sorry about that.
Had to do something.
It was plug-in related. I was like, really?
Man, I feel left out. I didn't get the note. Manlow's got Pitfall.
Oh.
Jen's got the Shattered Soulstone. Vess has got the Diablo, and I got Germany.
You got
Oh, yeah.
Germany.
These things ain't one like the other.
Got Germany.
Yeah, dude, repping that German pride, brother.
Oh,
Ich
yeah.
liebe
Yeah.
das, ich liebe
That's
das
German.
Deutschland.
I'm mostly
German
German,
fraud.
but I don't speak any.
I speak a few phrases. My grandmother used to speak German.
Oh, really?
Oh.
That's cool.
Yeah, so when I hear it, I understand it, but I'm not usually able to translate it back to English to explain it to someone else. Yeah, and I don't understand a whole lot. Just there's some where I'm like, okay, I know what that was. Yeah, but
You know what
also Irish.
what I found out about German when I lived in Germany was the more beer you drink, the more German you understand.
Hey, I'll have to try that.
I will too.
Or it could be the less I cared if I understood German. I'm not sure which one.
It could be one of those.
One of those,
I don't know which one it is, but it's one of those two. Either way, it worked. I'm not sure.
All right, so
I changed cups just for you, Manlow. Just for you, brother.
Yeah, man. Nice.
Why was there some kind of?
Oh, there was
spat
there
on
was
your cup?
There was some cup confusion a couple episodes ago.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, not
Or he just drinks right out of the bottle, you know.
So,
drink out. Never drink out of the bottle.
For those YouTube people that have been watching for how long now? For about 10 minutes now. Surprise, we have Jen for this episode.
Hi, people. Here I am.
Yep.
Hey.
Surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, Jen. But I wanted to say one thing. Did you see that highly skilled one-handed Dr. Pepper pour right there? Like, I still have my hand on my mouse. Like, come on, brother. You know I'm a gamer. I can pour Dr. Pepper with one hand.
It looks like something perhaps you've done before.
Many hours of the Dr. Pepper pouring.
Yeah, he's very skilled in the trade. Oh man.
Gotta be skilled in something, brother. Know your strengths.
See, I wish I had it on my desk, but I got one of those Diablo bottomless potion glass bottles. It's in my room right now. I can't keep it away from the cats so they don't break it. But, so I had it on my desk for a while. And they like to jump on my desk, so I'm like, I probably shouldn't keep it there. But it's really cool. I really like it. I was lucky. I got it on sale during BlizzCon. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, there she goes. Okay. Finally. Now down to business. All right. Well, I guess Greed, countdown's on you. Whenever you are ready to go, sir.
All right, I'm good. Everybody else?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
All right. Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming to you from the dark recesses of the proverbial Dawn Forge pouch. This is episode 161 of the Shattered Soulstone. Party with an old friend. Whoop, whoop. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at bit.ly/Soulstone2018. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, MP3 player, or real man's phone.
When you get
is
one.
April 8th, 2018, and this is your main man, Dick Greed. With us today is some of my favorite people. Oh my God, y'all gonna flip the table on this one. We got Manlow.
Hey.
We got we finally diverted the AA Airlines back from Japan, and here is Vespertilio.
Hey, how's it going? Finally I'm back.
And no, that's not everybody we got this week. We also resurrected an old friend, one of my second favorite all-time Shattered Soulstone podcast host, Jen. What's up, Jen?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on the show today.
Yeah, no problem.
It's nice to be back. Now, to be clear, before y'all freak out too much, I'm not going to be on every episode, just once in a while.
You know what? I seen you on, and I thought, you know who hasn't been on the show in a long time? Jen. It sure would be nice to get a catch-up episode with Jen. Yeah, like I said, you may not be on every time, but hey, it's fun to have you back for at least this one.
At least this one, for sure, yeah. I can't, I found out when I used to be on the show all the time, my health is just not that good to be able to record all the time, so it's kind of when I can. For pretty much everything that I do.
Yeah. Hey,
hope
welcome back.
Going well with that.
It's as good as it can be. Let's just call it that.
It's a fight. Constant battle.
Yes.
Well, anyway, I wanted to get into it because we're going to have to hit it hard because we got 4 people today. So what I wanted to do was get into the weeks in gamings or months in gamings. So anyway, I wanted to get into Manlow. What have you been doing this week, brother?
Oh man, I've been sick, and I heard you were sick for a bit as well. But finally got some chance to play past couple nights. And life is good. Having a blast with the guys. We got some new people in the community. Shazam we got to play with, and there's another guy, we can't even pronounce his name, but he came over from Reddit on my recommendation. That was a lot of fun. Greed's like, I'm not going to try. I'm like, I was in the car, so I couldn't even read it. It was Zooey something. But he's in, and we're going to get playing with him. We're getting some gear for some people, and we already did a 95 with Shazam. That was a lot of fun. So anyway, having fun playing, and back with my congestion cleared up. I'm a happy camper.
Let me ask real quick. I'm really curious as to who this person is. How do you spell it in Discord?
Oh, it's like UIZ something. Give me 2 seconds, because he just made it in recently, and he posted. I know he did. And we gave him a bunch of welcomes and all that. Izuna, is that it?
Yeah,
Izuna. Yes, I'm sorry. But without even reading it, Greed says, he was telling me out loud on Discord chat, and he goes, I am not even going to try.
Look, brother, I'm from the South, man. Come with an easy name like Manny or Vest or Jen. Uh-huh. These are easy names.
You say mine's easy, but you're actually not pronouncing it correctly.
It doesn't matter.
It's Latin. They don't have the
you're Vest to me. You're always going to be Vest to me. It's
that works. I'm Vest to
I do that in real life too. Anyway,
that's okay.
Moving on. What in the heck has Vespertilio been doing since the last time he was here, which was many ages ago? He sharpened a sword, he got a katana, he got a gi, he wrestled the Easter bunny. Yeah. What else have you been doing, brother?
Yep. So if I didn't have to get up, I'd show you my sword. It's in my closet right now. You know, I got to keep that sharp just in case. And home security. we don't keep guns in the house. We just have a lot of blades everywhere. but no, I haven't had time to play Diablo at all, unfortunately, which makes me very sad. It's been over a month now, and once again, it's also been over a month since. Oh, there you go. Greed's showing off his sword. Hey, I might have to get up in a little while to show mine then. If we're comparing swords here, man. But he didn't hear any of that. He wasn't wearing his headphones. Oh well. All right. But anywho, so I haven't had any time to play. I've been very busy doing, chopstick lessons and fighting the Easter Bunny, and thankfully Manny rescued me. He was a little late to the game, but let's just say I'd be in much worse shape without you, buddy. Thank you.
Cool.
But anywho,
I had to come to his rescue.
Yes, do not fight the Easter Bunny. Let me tell you, do not. Bad idea. Do not do it. Anywho, outside of that, I mean, I don't know, you YouTubers can see this. I've been spending a lot of time making a ton of flashcards. I haven't even finished. This is about 800 currently. I've got another 80 to do tonight, and I'll be on 900 tomorrow. It's getting very difficult. Long story short, I'm working on the kanji right now. There's 2,136 what's known as Joyo kanji, and they're the required kanji to know that the Japanese government came up with. They say you must know all of these to be able to speak, read, and write the language fluently. So yeah, I'm about as of this morning, I'm 880 in, and it's getting hard. It's getting very hard, but still going. Slow process, but still going. And outside of that, really not too much. Lots of work. Got some bed bug bullcrap at work. I am staying away. I've had them before, and I don't want them again. So, I'm. Let's just say there might be. Before the situation is handled, there's a good chance I'm going to be written up at work. Because I'm refusing to go. Because last time I had bed bugs was from work as well, and they don't help you. I contacted the highest people on the totem pole that I could, and they refuse. They refused help. So it's kind of stupid. I don't know why. business flaw. I don't know. Don't need to get into that. But that's about it for me. I'm boring. Just, working out and learning and working. Yep.
Well, cool.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm super interested in, even more than my own what's going on, is what has Jen been doing since her long hiatus from the Shattered Soulstone.
Well, it's been a while. I don't know that I could even remember all the stuff that I've done between then and now, but I'll talk about recent stuff, I suppose. If we're going with like the last month or so, I've been playing Diablo 3. I'm playing in the season. I've played every season. I wasn't going to miss this one. So I'm doing that, and I decided to play a Necromancer because I'd finally gotten the pack where you can play the Necromancer. So I started that off, and having so much fun with the Necromancer. I'm really having a good time. Yeah, you get skeletons. I mean, what more do you need, right?
Yeah, 100 thumbs up on internet high five.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
You get the pet army you've always wanted, Jen.
Yes, I used to have to build it with my barbarian. If you guys have listened to old shows, I tried to build a pet army with my barbarian. And it worked pretty well for a while. I had the ancients going, and I had, treasure goblin thing from the ring, and I had those little guys that blow up, and in the pet, it's like that's as close as I could get, But with this, man, you get 7 skeletons right away, It's fantastic, and I'm using the skeletal mages now too, so I can get 10. So I have my pet army of the undead I've always wanted, It's been good. It's been really good. I'm playing softcore. I switch hardcore softcore every so often. So I'm playing softcore this season, and I'm doing this thing called the Solo Self-Found League, if any of you have heard of that. It's not part of Blizzard. It is something that I heard of from Leviathan. You guys might know Leviathan. He's pretty big in D3. He's on Twitch, all that. He's really cool. And he's either the one that started it or one of the founders of it. And the idea was that people wanted there to be something for players that play solo, because you don't get like the group advantage and you don't get all this stuff. So the idea was, you started at the beginning of the season, you joined in this, you agreed to play only games by yourself, so you don't let anybody in your game, you don't jump in anybody else's game, and you only use the stuff you found yourself, solo self-found. And there's a leaderboard that they're doing, and they are checking things. Like, I don't know how much Blizzard checks things or whatever, but they are checking things when you have joined. They want like a screenshot of the time of your Greater Rift run that you're entering, and if you have a video, they want that. And they go and check it. Make sure you're not cheating and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And it's been pushing me to try Greater Rifts higher than I normally do, which is. I didn't expect that at all, because I usually fail pretty hard in the Greater Rifts, but I usually do a season, get through chapter 4, get the pet or whatever cool stuff it is, and then I'm like, okay, I'm kind of done, and then I'll like stare at Slayer and go, I don't know, And I've done Slayer a couple of times, but very rarely. And this year I'm like, well, I'll give it a try. So I think Slayer is maybe it's chapter 4. You got to hit a Greater Rift 20. That one, you guys all know what I'm talking about. So I did that, and kind of kept going. The highest rift I've done is 42, which doesn't sound very high, but used to be a struggle for 20. So I'm kind of impressed with that. And
hey, nice.
Yeah, I mean, got to start somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. And this is solo self-found, so this is not grouping up or anything like that either. And it's been like requiring me to do problem solving in a way that I don't think I would need to if I was with a group. Like, for a while I've been, figuring out, all right, what gear am I using? What can I change out to, not die as quickly? That kind of thing. I had people giving me advice. You're allowed with the solo self-found. You can take advice from people. You can look up builds. You just can't play with someone in your game. So people have been saying, well, try this gem instead of that one. So I'm trying those things and playing around with skills, and just, it's required me to really think about the game And usually I just kind of run in and kill demons, and and I'm all good. So as far as in game, that's basically what I've been up to, and I'm working my way through champion right now, which I have never done ever. So I'm kind of stuck, and I can't have someone jump in and help. And I've had all these people want to help, but I can't because I'm doing solo self-bound. So I'm stuck with the Nephilim Rift on Torment 10 by yourself within under 6 minutes. I keep dying, and then today I changed some things, and I made it through the Rift without dying, which was big, but it wasn't under 6 minutes. And then the other one is fighting the Ubers, the last 2 Ubers, and man, I got squished with those. Went right in, it's like, boom, I'm like, okay, Diablo, see you later. It just didn't work at all. So I got to do that. If I get that done, I'll have champion before the end of the season, and I don't know, I have no idea what's next, but it's been fun just trying to figure out, how can I make this work without a group?
It's very tough doing what you're doing, and you've gotten very far, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congrats on your progress. And yeah, I mean, these two know more about the Necromancer than me. I mean, I played the Necromancer quite a bit, but I'm nothing compared to them. But yeah, I know with how much they buffed everything. Yeah, it's probably just one item. You'll finally get a drop, and you'll equip an item, and then it's just gonna blast you through that T10 rift like it's nothing. Like you're gonna find it, whatever item it is.
I don't know what it would be.
But
yeah, well, I'm using the I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're okay.
Okay, cool. So I'm using obviously the Inaria set that you get this season if you finish chapter 4. So I've got that going on, and I've got the Jesseth's Skull Shield and the Skull Scythe. I've got those, and I think I found the scythe. The shield came from Kadala, and it was an ancient. I about fell over. I'm like, really? That's never going to happen for me again. I've used all my luck, I think. It's just gone. And I got the Reaper's Wraps. And I brought it to the blacksmith, and those 3 things I know from you, Dead Greed, because I was listening to the show. So thank you for letting everybody know about that. That helped me a lot. The blacksmith gave me Reaper's Wraps that were an ancient, and I about fell over again because I've never seen him do that. So I'm like, okay, something weird, yeah, and I've been trying out different rings and stuff like that, and I got a socket on the Skull Scythe because I got one of those little cube things that you make a socket with. Rama Ladney's gift, I think. Got one of those. Yeah, that's it. Got that. So that helped a bit. And I think the thing that's helping me now is learning how to use the skeletal mages properly. And I've got the ring. What's the ring? The Evol, EVOL, that one. So I've got that in the cube. So I'm using that as because I didn't know what it was when I started the season. I'm like, well, it looks good. That way I can switch things around and still get the benefit from it, So I'm doing that, and that helped. So I can get 10 mages rolling pretty good now. 7 skeletons. It's little by little. So if there is one item that I need that's going to make things so much faster, I have no idea what it is.
Do you have a Crispin Sentence ring?
Yes. I don't think I'm actually using it right now because I wasn't sure. I was playing with variables, and I'm like, okay, it's the rings. Let me shift around rings and see what's going to work. So I have one still, I think. Yeah. So I can do that. I can do that.
In the very near future, not cheating. I won't go into your game, but I'll take you to Necro School, and it'll be on like Donkey Kong.
Okay, well, I've been streaming on Twitch, so
nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you can just jump in and give me advice. Some of the other guys from Soulstone have found me and have been helping out. Rona's been telling me a lot, so that's been really good. He taught me about the skeletal mages. It helped a whole lot. Made a big difference. Yeah, so I'm on Twitch at Queen of Haiku, which I used to go by that name on Twitter. And you can find me there. I do play a lot of D3. I've been streaming Battle for Azeroth Alpha because why not? And a little bit of Hearthstone, which I don't do a lot of Hearthstone because I get frustrated, but so yeah, if anybody else wants to offer advice, I'm sorry, what?
I love Hearthstone. That's my jam.
Okay. I think I love the artwork. I love all the little animation. But after a while I get frustrated. It doesn't move as fast as Diablo. It just doesn't. That's kind of the problem.
I got 2 words for you on that one. Combo rogue. Run a combo rogue. Look it up. It is the most fun build on Hearthstone.
Okay, I'll give that a try. I'm going to write that down because I will forget at the end of the show. Combo rogue. Okay.
The funny thing is, she acts like she's not going to edit this.
Yeah.
Well, if I got it written down, I'll know where to find it again. If I edit it, I'll be like, oh yeah, that. I'll be done editing, forget what it was.
Yeah.
I am. For those that don't know, I recently started editing some of Shattered Soulstone. Sean's still doing most of it, but I am going through like the vocal stuff and taking out all the extra noises and stuff like that.
He was being heard by people who are known. But anyway, though, when Greed takes you to Necro School, he's got great advice. Listen to him. But one thing that you need to ignore him about is the other 3 armor sets are still good and still very useful. just because he's hardcore into one of them. The Rathma set, it is really good, and his build is great. I'm not bashing his build at all, but the other 3 sets can be very strong as well. The Inarius set, there's a very good T13 build that I personally ran, and it was very, very fun. It was a whole lot of fun. So, on that account, don't listen to him.
I haven't tried the other builds. I just went with the one that came with the season. But I would pick it up pieces as I go, so I might have the other sets sitting in my stash, and possibly.
One time me and my brother was in a foot race, and he came in second, and he was like, "It was very fun."
Oh.
Hey. Is the game about having fun or winning? As long as you have fun
winning.
It doesn't matter if you win or not.
My name is Dick.
We play to have fun, not to win. I don't see you as number 1 on the leaderboard, Greed. I'm sorry. You're still not number 1. Just to put it bluntly.
I've been on the leaderboard.
You've been on it, so have I.
That season for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, we've all been on it. But it doesn't mean we're number 1 on it.
You got to be number 1 in your head. You know what the Bible says. Thou hast thou a man say it, or thou hast thou as a man think it, thou as man do it. Something. You know the Bible.
I don't. I spent all of my time with this guy right here, instead of being in church. I was in church in the game. I spent a lot of time in the church in Diablo 1.
There you go. See,
a whole lot of time.
So much time in that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I guess we need to ask Greed now. Greed, what have you been up to in game?
Man, this week was. I was sick. My God, I was sick. And then it went from this gorgeous 70 degrees to like 5 degrees and sleeting snow.
Same thing happened here.
Someone forgot to tell Mother Nature that it's like April. Like all my tomato plants got busted.
Oh
man, no. I know, man. I spent a whole bunch of time and money putting them plants. Man, my lettuce is ruined.
At least your fish tank is okay.
Nah, the tank now. The tank is cool, but the garden's on a spiral down. I gotta get new plants, I guess. kind of, but yeah, I was sick. I played some, not really a lot, but the best thing that happened this week was I hit 1K Paragon. Yeah, this season we are rocking and rolling with these powers, and I've played so much. Blizzard had to add an extra digit to my things. Now I have 4 numbers instead of just 3. And now I'm even like 107, which is cool because that sounds like a radio station, like C. Dick Greed at 107 point or 100.7. I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
All of those are actually radio stations.
I think they are.
Well, like I said, it sounds like a radio station, not a Paragon level. But I hit that Paragon. I was like, yeah. I mean, look, I get it. Captain Peter beat me to it.
He sure did.
He did beat me to it, but I think I'm really proud of my progress because, man, I work 60, 65, 70 hours a week. I had vacation this season. I've been sick a lot this year. So, for all that stuff to go on and still hit 1,000 Paragon, man, I'm pretty happy. I'm really happy with my build. I finally got my last augment, so I am 100% ancient or primal, and I am 100% augmented with, I think my lowest, I have 3 that are still in the 80s, so I have 3 augments in the 80s, and the rest of them are 90 and above, so my 3 main gems are 99 and 98, respectively. So I'm getting there, and we've been in the high 90s smashing. I know that we're a little bit higher than Jen, but we've had a lot of help, a lot of help. We've been just
we're all casual players here. Yeah, all casual.
I am casual.
Yeah, casual. Got it.
I mean, Jen's been playing. Seriously, she's been playing by herself. When we group up and we run these 4-man, higher level 4-man, we're getting a ton of experience, a ton of gold. We're getting a ton of, we're getting a lot of everything, and to play by yourself, you're not having those advantages. So I'm really proud of her. She's gotten pretty far. She's done more in the season journey this year. Or this season, I should say, not year, but I mean, yeah, it's all good.
Well, thank you. It is a challenge, It's if you're tired of the seasons, you could just do what I'm doing. I have no idea if Solo Self-Found's going to run like it does this season in upcoming seasons. I just think it's unknown right now, but there's no reason someone couldn't do that as a challenge to themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool thing.
That in the game, like just added like a leaderboard for it. But I mean, I don't want to take any thunder away from, whoever created like Leviathan and whoever else created it. That would be really cool if they added that to the game, just like a leaderboard that you can see. Maybe not some special section or anything, but just so you can see the leaderboard in game like the rest of the leaderboards without having the as much hassle for Leviathan or whoever has to go through and make
I think there's I'm sure there's a lot of like maintenance on that, as people enter like, hey, here's my rift and all that stuff and checking it. But I think it's my understanding that part of the idea was if people played that this season, maybe Blizzard would notice, and go, oh, hey, there's something we can do, Yeah.
Some kind of update. I wonder if there will be anything new for season 14, or if they'll just kind of roll over like 13 did.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. But I would like to. I think it would be really cool if they did do like something just for solo players, based on this. That would be good.
Yeah,
I would say we're pretty deep into the season right now, and
right.
And if there was going to be any changes, like especially major changes to the game, we would have already seen a beta.
Yeah, something on the player test realm thing.
Yeah, PTR. I said beta, but I meant PTR. You know what I meant. Yep. Yeah, we would have seen and no PTR. I mean, it's April already, so no PTR as of yet. I mean, maybe the PTR is going to come up Tuesday. Maybe it'll come up in the next couple of weeks. But if it don't come up here pretty soon, then I don't see us getting any major changes anytime.
Yeah, but also they don't have to have like the season rollover. There was an update. It was just a very small one. It wasn't anything like gear changes or class changes. It was more bug fixes and stuff like that. So we'll probably get some more of those. And if say this what was it called again, the solo
self-found league,
yeah, say if they did do something with that, I wouldn't really think there'd be a PTR for like an additional leaderboard or a solo self-found section. It'd just be like an add-on that, they wouldn't really have any notice that it's coming. Maybe they might mention it, but there wouldn't be a PTR for it. You know what I mean? Since it's more of a user interface or a different menu.
Right. Well, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
What we have now is on leaderboards, and I'll do it often just to do a little checking on folks. Is you go into you shift L, and you can pick 2, 3, 4 man, and you can look at seasonal and non-seasonal previous seasons, but you can just look at one person, and if they just had a checkbox or just below that, where if it had one person, then it said one person like solo self-found, true solo, no helped, whatever. Just like either a checkbox for a filter or just add it to that list. It's the easiest thing. Just say, are you in this league? Then you show up on this list, and there's a leaderboard of solo self-found, folks. That'd be perfect.
Yeah. Now what happens?
That'd be really cool. Mm-hmm.
Even if you have, if you say you make a new character and you go into a private lobby, so you're just in adventure mode. Your friends can still join you unless
you turn it off.
Unless you
set
yourself to
mine's set to private, yeah.
Mine is too, yeah. Because I get really confused when people jump in. I'm like, wait, what? Who? Huh? And especially now that I'm streaming, I'm like, I don't even want to try to figure that out while people are watching me try to figure that
out. I'll tell you another good reason. The reason that I still have mine on is because I'll play hardcore once in a while, and in single player, like by yourself, even if you're in a chat group or whatever, but anyway, by yourself, you hit escape, it's paused. Mm-hmm. But in multiplayer, it's not.
Oh.
And in hardcore, you will die if somebody unpauses your game for you. And I've had that happen. So my games are all private, unfortunately.
That makes sense.
Even though I played softcore mostly, it's just not worth it. And you don't want to lose a hardcore character. I've lost too many.
Have any of you ever just been playing and somebody joins in? This happens to me very frequently, actually. Still, just on a regular basis, really. I'll just have random people join me, and then they'll be in the lobby with me in game with me for maybe a couple minutes. Then they'll either leave, then shoot me a message, or type to me, then leave, and just start frantically apologizing for randomly joining me. I'm like, I don't care. Come stay in here, play with me. I don't. It doesn't bother me.
Wow.
I'm like, why do you feel the need to apologize for this? Come in, join, play with me. What?
I bet what happened was they came into somebody's game. Maybe they meant to get into a different game, or maybe somebody called them on the phone and they had to go or something like that. So they jumped out, and whoever it was probably screamed at them after that. So now they're apologizing preemptively before someone gets mad.
Probably.
I literally turned mine off because I would be doing solo stuff or whatever, and people would just non-stop join my thing, and I'd be like, "Hey, doing solo," and they'd be like, "Okay, cool, I'm in your game." And I'll just stay here. I'll just stay here till you're done. Yeah, but I'm doing a solo, and they're like, "Yeah, cool. I'll just stay in town." But I'm doing solo.
It's not solo.
Solo, by myself, Kama Sutra for one type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, not 2. Like, I mean, so I just turned mine off because it was getting, it was getting, it was just getting ridiculous. Or I'd be playing with my son, especially when, I mean, now it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal because he's a little older, but especially when he was younger, I'd be playing with my son and somebody jump in and then they'd start doing all kinds of junk. And, I'm trying to teach my son this, that, and the other about playing. And I'm like, I'm playing with my son. And they'd be like, cool, let's do this. But so I just turned it off. And I don't have that problem anymore. I hadn't had that problem in a long time. And that's why I have mine turned off. So if you've ever, like, wanted to just randomly jump in my game and thought, wow, I can't get in the Greed's game, that's why. You just got to shoot me a little, hey, let's play together thing, and then I'll type back and be like, cool, or I'll be like, meh,
who are you?
Doing a solo.
Manlow who?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I would never deny the Manlow.
I'm there with the internet high five, and he's like,
oh,
nope.
Yeah.
He's like,
leaving you hanging on this one. No, it'd be more likely in my case. Just hey, Greed, you want to play? I'm sorry, who are you? Oh, Vesper, what? I haven't seen you on here before. No, but we have fun. Well, does anybody have any other Diablo-related things you'd like to share before we get into notes?
Kind of Diablo related.
What's that?
Stay a while and listen. Yeah. Deckard Cain making another appearance. Not in Diablo though.
Oh, you're stealing this from me. I see how it is.
Yeah, I put it on there. Of course I'm gonna steal it.
And I hear
character
is my favorite.
They're in another game made by the same great and wonderful company that we love, Blizzard. They make more than just Diablo, in case you didn't know that. They have other games such as StarCraft, which is popular, WoW, which is popular, and
hugely popular.
All their games are actually popular. So they got like some Overwatch shooty thing, and they got another game called Heroes of the Storm, and in that game they steal characters from other games like Diablo. And yeah, Deckard Cain's gonna go over there and he's gonna put some kind of triangle thing on the ground and throw a Heroic cube at everybody and give a bunch of lore lessons and actually looks kind of
really cool stuff. Yeah, he's got some.
I don't play Heroes of the Storm. I don't play Heroes of the Storm, but I mean I have a couple times. But it looks cool. I mean, I like his art and his. The voice they're using, I think I was thinking it was the D2. I was thinking it was the D2 Deckard Cain. I'm not an expert on that though.
It should be the same voice actor though.
I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. Yeah,
he's great.
Sounds very.
I don't know. He sounded really D2y. I'm not sure.
I like that.
They could have used the files from D2. I mean, they could have just brought in the files instead of re-recording. It's possible.
I know they brought in some sound files. I watched the video just before we started recording, and they've got some classic sounds. The classic healing potion sound they brought back is awesome. I don't know if
I did like how he just throws potions on the ground. That's so pimp. Yeah. Like, look, if you want to heal, I'm a healer, but if you want to heal, you have to do some work here. I like it.
Yes, it's awesome. He's as you can probably guess, he's a support healer in the game. He can throw potions on the ground, like Reed mentioned earlier. He's got the cube, the Heroic cube, which he throws, and it's got a bunch of different utility-based effects, slows and whatnot. He's got a scroll ability, makes a giant triangle on the ground. If people are caught in it, it slows them for a certain amount of time. And he's got two different ultimate abilities.
I think that triangle thing was called "Stay a While and Listen."
No, that's one of his ultimate moves. It shoots out in a cone. He pulls out his book, flips through some pages, and says, "Stay a while and listen." This big cone in front of him. Everybody that's within it falls asleep.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the one. Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
funny. I'm like, wow, he bores them to just fall asleep, and it's great. It's a big area. It's really cool. Then you've got the other ultimate move is called Lornado. He makes a tornado of his books. It just shoots straight out and knocks everybody away from it, and it deals a little bit of damage and stuff. And it's really really cool. He's a very interesting character in the game. I know people thought it was a joke at first, thought it was an April Fool's joke, but it's not. He's actually going to be put in the game, and I just love that they made his. They brought in his voice line, "Stay a while and listen," and not only that, they made it one of his ultimate moves. Is like one of his strongest attacks. It's great. I love it.
I'll be playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I got worried there for a second because there was some extreme rustling going about, and I thought the Easter Bunny had found you.
Yeah, we got my roommate creeping in here in the corner of the screen, and his dog's butt right there.
That's not a great finger placement, by the way.
Yeah. I'll talk to you about that later. Anywho,
Ooh, good audio.
Dropping a tip on that one.
Yeah.
I'll just edit it out. Don't worry about it.
You're
all good.
Even if you didn't, it doesn't matter. We have fun on this. But yeah. They've got one more thing I'd like to mention. For those of you who have seen the video for the for Deckard Cain being in Heroes of the Storm, is Heroes of the Storm, they've got skins for the characters to make them look different. Well, they showed a skin for Deckard Cain, and it's really unique because he's almost like it's almost like he's undead. He's either evil or undead. So I'm wondering if it's like an homage to him, dying in D3 and him just being back to life. It's just like a corpse.
Maybe.
But it's funny because in the video, it shows the skin close up, and the skin is like looking through his book. The book is floating in front of him. He's somehow making it float in front of him, and he licks his fingers to turn the page. I'm like, wow, that's a nice touch. It's really really cool and detailed, and it's just great. I love it. I'm fangirling over Deckard Cain.
Well, why not? He is pretty cool,
Yep, he's my grandpa.
Yeah. There you go.
He will always be the grandpa. But yeah. Anybody else have anything to add?
I've got something that's not related to what we just talked about specifically, but it is kind of related to Diablo 3.
All right.
Those of you that have listened to the show for a long time, you might remember I used to do little segments called Jen's Lore Corner. And I'd go into the lore. Since we were just talking about lore, I guess this sort of relates. Like I used to take a character from the series of video games and talk about how, their storyline, different from the game. Because some of the stuff you get in D3 is out of order and all that other stuff. So there's been a few in, previous Soulstone episodes.
Everyone misses that.
Well, you won't have to miss it too much longer because I'm going to release it as a podcast, an individual podcast called Jen's Lore Corner. And it's going to start with the ones that I've already done so that people that missed it can catch up. And I'll be adding new stuff as time goes on. So what I'm going to do is start with the first one, which was about Adria. And I'm going to put it on my website, which is called Book of Jen, like Book of Cain. I think Nevik gave me that idea. But yeah, so it's going to be there. The first episode's going to release Wednesday, and it's only going to be on my website. I don't put my podcasts on iTunes or any of that other stuff. It's just there, and easy to find.
May I ask your permission real quick?
Sure.
When you post a new episode, may I post it in the Shattered Soulstone Discord?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be great because I know, like you were saying, people miss those. So,
yeah.
So I'm gonna do them again. There's gonna be one episode per month because that gives me time to do research and get all that stuff together, and and it also works around all of my chronic illnesses to be able to put that together. So I'm giving myself a huge leeway, a huge lead of already created content, and I started putting together the first episode, I think last week, something like that. So I've got art for the show. I've got intro music that Sean created because he plays guitar. So it kind of sounds D3, but it's not stealing from Blizzard, kind of thing.
All right.
And that'll be going up at Book of Gen, which is bookofgen.net. You'll find it at the top of the blog. The blog's got a bunch of different categories. So I've got a podcast unrelated to D3 in there. You'll find the D3 one, and below that I've got all my D3 blogs, and then all the other stuff I get up to is beyond that. Ta-da!
Awesome. I'm excited to listen to that, actually.
You've heard the ones, you've heard them. The ones that are going to come out first. There's been like 9 of them. So after that, it'll start being new stuff. I have so many ideas I want to do, and I'll just keep it going as long as I'm able.
That's awesome.
Cool.
I distinctly remember.
And also when you
What?
Also when you post a new episode, we can just say, "Hey, there's a new episode." So go.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Yeah. That would be wonderful, you guys. Thank you.
Yep, we will be plugging your podcast as much as we can, and yeah, I will, for those listeners who are interested, I will be putting a link directly to those episodes when I get them on the Discord. And, possibly other places too with Jen's permission, but we can talk about that when we're not recording.
Sure. That's pretty Soulstone, though, to do your, program directing and coordination and organization while you're on the show. It goes way back.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, too. Yeah, I distinctly remember your Zunimasa lore corner. It was really, really awesome.
Thank you.
It got me very much into the lore of really the witch doctors and everything. It was really, really cool. So looking forward to more of those, and I'll probably end up re-listening to the past ones. So yeah, I guess I've got some blue notes. We already talked about the Deckard Cain thing. There are some interesting things. One of them, or the first thing I'll talk about, I guess, is somebody posted in the Blizzard forums, the D3 forums, about Death's Breath drops. They had an interesting question that I'd never really thought to ask. So I'll read their post and see what people have to say about it. I'm in desperate need of Death's Breath. He says DBs, so I'll be saying DBs. Of DBs, but as a demon hunter, the Sage's set is of no use to me. So I thought it'd be tricky. I have 2 accounts. On the account that needs the Death's Breath, I equipped the Sage's set, then sent them both into a rift. Sorry, that English is not this person's first language, so I'm translating. The character with the Sage's set stood around while the other character went around and did all the fighting. It was a Southern Highlands map, so I was able to do the entire rift on that level, and with Nemesis Bracers, I was getting lots of elites and tons of Death's Breath drops. After the Guardian drop, I cleared the entire level. Then I sent my secondary character around to pick up the loot. It was fine for a while, but after I got about halfway up the map, the Death's Breath stopped appearing. I was seeing legendary and yellow drops where the elites were killed, but no Death's Breath. Is there a range limit to where they'll drop for another player? The missing Death's Breath notwithstanding, I felt the effort was a fool's errand, and in that it took so long to go over the map a second time, I'm probably better off clearing the map without the Sage's set. Now, the replies this person got, I cannot vouch if all of these are accurate, but it sounds pretty accurate to me. someone replied and said, from a time perspective, yeah, you're better off gearing tune and just playing it for the Death's Breath. It says no range limit, but mats and drops will eventually disappear due to a time limit. I'm not sure how the priorities are regarding which goes first, but go they will. Then the original person replied to that, asking, if I can find it. Are you saying that they were on the ground, but they sort of evaporated? If I headed out with my secondary character sooner, they might have still been there because the legendary drops remained. Then the person replied again, yes, drops left for too long on the ground will disappear when enough time has passed. So have any of you had this problem with any items disappearing, not just materials, but yeah, do you have any insight on this?
Okay, I do, because I had the same problem. And the reason why I had the same problem, not with Death Breath, but with gold, because I had a great idea back when it was much harder to get that, hey, pick up 50 million gold conquest. And so I thought what I would do is I would take my character to a big map and just murder everything all over the whole map, and then come back and pick up all the gold, and then there wouldn't be no enemies, so I could just zigzag and get all the gold. But yeah, it just despawns after a while, and your Death Breath will also despawn, and your legendaries will despawn too if given enough time. So they're all set on individual timers. I don't know what the specific times are for each thing, but as long as you're in the Rift, and you're in the current level, like let's say, and maybe he did say he was in the same level. Mm-hmm. So that's nothing. But like, let's say you were on your character and you murdered everything on the first level, then you went to the second level and you killed everything, and then you got back on your second character and you picked up stuff in the first level. When you go to the second level, there's not going to be any loot because you weren't in the second level. So there's like a level thing, and there's also a despawner of items. So, and yeah, boy, it would take a long time to clear a rift and then get on another character and then run around and pick up your stuff. It would be way faster just to go murder stuff and pick it up, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a long way around, I think. Yeah.
How is he playing two characters in one game, though?
Some people have like two. Well, they'll do one of two things. You can either have two computers close to each other and running essentially two separate accounts, or there are ways to have the game running twice on the same computer, but it's a process and it's very much of a pain. I don't recommend doing it, especially because I don't know if it's.
It sounds kind of questionable. Yeah, it sounds questionable because I don't know.
It's not against terms of service. I multi-boxed a lot in WoW, not in Diablo, but in WoW.
But see, it might not be a big deal, and
yeah, different. But I know in both games it's not a big deal. But I know in WoW I multi-boxed a lot. Especially I ran a five shaman arena at one time, which was all five shamans at the same time shooting. Anyway, that was a cool thing. I used to farm with five, farm mining nodes and herbs with five characters at a time in WoW, five boxing, and if you can five box in WoW, you can five box in Diablo. It's basically the same process.
I just never heard of it,
Although Diablo taxes you a lot more than WoW does, so you'd have to have a really good computer to get more than two accounts, I think. If you were, and I think I've seen a video a long time ago. I'd have to look it up, of a guy who was four boxing like a really high level rift, like in an insane way. Like, I don't remember what the level was. It was really impressive when I seen the when I seen the video because he was doing a really high level, and he wasn't running like 4 of the same characters. He was running like 2 supports. It was crazy.
Wow. That's impressive. You can find that video, send it our way.
Anyway, it just saying it was a thing, and that's a thing. So yeah.
I'll tell you, this guy, like I say, he learned the hard way, but I min-max, Manny here is all he needed was a Crusader, which can run a full set and the Sages set, hop on a horse and get so many Death Breaths you can't even count them. So all he needed to do was ask a buddy to power level him real quick, get a couple pieces of gear from Kadala, and make the Sages set. Obviously, it'd take 3 seconds, but yeah, he kind of went the long way to get something done that he was trying to round hole square peg. He shouldn't have been doing anything with the Demon Hunter. You just get an alt and have that alt go get things for you faster.
Mm-hmm. That's the build actually I'm running with the Crusader. It's a whole lot of fun. It's a whole lot of fun.
It's gear
and you get
mats. Yep.
You get anywhere between like 45 to 55 Death's Breath per rift, and you can clear a T13 rift in about just over 2 minutes. So if you're geared properly, it's crazy. It's much stronger than I thought it would be. But anywho, for those one more thing that's on this posting or on this forum that was mentioned. For those of you who are running a Demon Hunter, there is a build running the Sages set that is viable that you can handle T13 with and clear quickly. He doesn't give specifics, but you can find it online if you search the Natalia's Sage Death's Breath Farmer. But uses 5 pieces of the Natalia's set and 2 pieces of the Sages and the Ring of Royal Grandeur. And like I said, I'm not looking at the build right now. That's all he really mentions, or she, whoever it is. But they apparently, if it's built properly, it can go through T13 very quickly and efficiently, and you can get your Death's Breath that way.
There you go.
So, and the last blue note that I have, I spark up another conversation. So let me start it this way. Not to bring up the possibility of there being a Diablo 4, because we don't know, nothing's been released, is not ending towards that at all. This is just a forum conversation. Someone posted, how in your opinion skill systems should be in D4 if there were to be one? And this guy's got some very, very interesting ideas. Just real quick, I'll run over a few of them. It says, I personally will pick exactly the skill trees from D2 and make a simple change. Instead of skill point / level, allow a sub-skill point too. The sub-skill points can be added modifications to current skills. For example, faster projectile speed, multiple projectiles, costs health instead of mana, increases damage and costs health and mana, casts other spells on hit, casts other spells on kill, elemental conversions, larger AoE, heal on hit, etc., 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 whatever. So, and then people replied with more ideas like that, just increased damage. Pretty much being able to modify your skills to have either, say, lower damage but much higher AoE, or vice versa, just so you can have a more customized, say you're running a wizard. So, in D3, if you have 2 wizards and they're running the exact same build, obviously they're doing the exact same thing. But if you implement a system like this, you can have 2 wizards with the exact same build, exact same armor, everything, but their builds, they're still doing different things because they have their sub-skill points set up differently. So one can be high single target damage while the other one's high AoE, like massive AoE. So it's gives it more options. So what do you guys think of that?
I think the interface would look something like the Paragon points. Where you get a little point and you stick it in somewhere. I want this, I want that, that kind of thing. I think they could probably make it function with whatever's making that function, maybe. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. It would give, if there ever is going to be a Diablo 4, it would prevent the completely cookie cutter kind of, all the same sort of thing to some degree, mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there'd be I think this is the reason Greed's shaking his head. There would still be a meta for builds that, this combination of using your sub-skill points is the best for, for doing whatever it is you're trying to do. But at least it would still give a lot more, I don't know, a lot more customization, unique builds to choose from. But I mean, I actually really like the idea. I think it'd be really neat. It's almost like I kind of see it in my head as, how we have each skill right now, and each skill has 5 runes. Well, imagine each rune having 5 runes. So, yeah, 5 sub-runes or something like that. Just more customization.
I really love the idea, and I would love to be able to do more. A lot of people complain because after 800, all your main stat goes right to your intellect. So a lot of people complain. So maybe you could do something with that, right? But honestly, this is a real cookie cutter game, and Blizzard's tried a lot of things, and they're really smart developers. And they've tried a lot of things to get away from cookie cutter builds, but honestly, everything they ever try goes right back to, hey, this is exactly what you're going to need. You're going to need these things. You're going to need these weapons. You're going to need these items. You're going to need put these in these points, and you're going to need, this affixes on your. It's basically the same thing as having affixes on your gear, because what are they, one of the things Blizzard has done to try to stop this cookie cutter madness was they were like, hey, we'll do random affixes on this gear, right? That was one of the big things. But what have we done? We go, everything is trash unless you get intellect, skeleton damage, and armor and vitality in that order. And you can try to use the enchanter to re-roll your thing to maybe make it a little better. But, you're always looking for that one thing, with the perfect affixes on it. And that's kind of how I kind of see that going. And I mean, the developers are always trying to do more to get away from the cookie cutter, but I honestly don't see them getting away from it because, man, we min-max, and once you do the math, and once there becomes a clear build, then everybody just follows suit, and that's just how that's just reality of the thing,
Mm-hmm.
But not everybody does it. There are a lot of people that do that. That's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And as soon as the new thing is, okay, this is what you need and all that, like you were saying, everybody does that. That's into that kind of, I guess, high level gaming, but other people that don't know what they're doing are going to find something that works for them, that may work better for them than what's the thing you got to have, Like Hearthstone decks, for example. Maybe Manlow knows more about this than me, but this is the deck. You need these cards. You need this. But every so often, somebody comes up with something by trying different variables and different cards and whatever that turns out to be better than something else. I mean, I think it would give more opportunity to kind of come up with that.
Yep, that was proven with a double generator build for the monk that came out a long time ago. Everybody thought that, what was it at the time, like the Ulianis build or something, when it was brand new, it was like the strongest thing, and then somebody in Asia figured out this double generator combo, and it just blew up. And that was, this is the best thing now. But really, with this kind of game, though, with any loot-based game, this is a problem and always will be, because any loot-based game, there's always a best combination of loot, and there always will be. But the only way to fix this, which I don't know how you could implement it into a game like this, would just be tough. Blizzard, I'm sure, could figure out a way to do it. But the only way to have a loot-based game that doesn't have a meta would be to have your skill outweigh your gear. So, say, for example, okay, let's throw this out there. So we take a barbarian. We've got 2 barbarians. We got one with the whirlwind set, and the other with a hammer of ancient set. So, yeah, let's say the hammer of ancient set is better. It higher damage output, all this stuff. But a person with really high skill using a whirlwind set, they can be way better than this person using the Hammer of the Ancient set, even though the gear is the meta. This other person, the whirlwind guy, will still be doing much better because they have the skill to play on a much higher level, essentially. You can't really, it's kind of a hard example because you can't do that in Diablo 3. I mean, skill, it does take a little skill in the game, but if we really put it simply, Diablo 3 is just a hack and slash. I mean, you're gonna get hit by attacks. You can't dodge everything. And really the only other skill in this game is timing, just timing your abilities, which there's not a whole lot to that. But if, say, a Diablo 4 came out, the only way for them to really, truly make a game, a loot-based game that was essentially completely open to not have a meta, is if they change the controls or the type of game around to make it more skill-based. Like, I don't know if you could do it with a game like Diablo just because it's Skyview. If you made it like first person, if they did like a first person thing, yeah, there'd be skill to that, I guess. It just really depends on how they'd implement it. Yeah, kind of hard to explain. Am I getting my point across, or am I just sounding stupid?
No, but
I think I'm getting it. But I'm wondering if, like, to determine, a higher skill, someone's got a better skill than somebody else, how much of that is them and how much of that is what kind of computer they're using or how fast their internet is.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be another thing to try to work out,
Yep. Well, it's because they're essentially 2 different genres that you almost can't merge. Say Overwatch. Overwatch is 100% skill. In fact, there's no loot at all in the game. So, while Diablo is very minimal skill, but it's a loot grind and hack and slash. So, I mean, both have their perks, both have their downsides. Well, how does one make a game that fits both? Well, if Blizzard finds that out, they're gonna quadruple their net worth in a day as soon as it releases, because they will be the first company to ever do it.
But I gotta say, like Blizzard, and one of the reasons why I love Blizzard makes these games, and they're just home runs. Like, I mean, come on. When they, MMOs were in a place, they were in a thing, and then WoW comes out, and I mean, WoW's been out forever, and they're still the number 1 MMO. They don't play around. Card games been a thing for a long time. They come out with Hearthstone, they're blowing that up. It just, like, shooters are a big thing. Now they're blowing that up. If anybody can make a game in a new category and, like a revolutionary category, it's these people. I have all the confidence in the world. I mean, I hope that they just come out and just hit a home run, grand slam, touchdown, goal with it, because it's going to be, I want it to be just something that I'm just on the edge of my seat, can't wait to get off work to play, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely be excited for that too. Well, I'm pretty much excited for anything Blizzard has to offer. But yeah, I completely agree with you. I know like some games have come close. Like for example, Destiny has come close. It's got a loot-based system, but you know, but you need skill, and sometimes your skill can outweigh your loot, which is, it makes sense. But also, Destiny does not have any RNG. Like, say you get a weapon, it doesn't have any randomized stats. It's all a set stat. So it's, I don't know. I'd be interested to see a game that required skill that had an RNG loot system. I'd be very interested in that, actually.
Does Fortnite have that? Like, I know that's a lot of skill, and it is loot. You have to pick up loot and stuff like that. I haven't played it. I've watched people play it on Twitch, but I don't know if the items have different like stats on them.
They don't. They're set.
Okay.
I mean, it's really random of what you find, but they are pretty much set.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of another game because it's fully possible that I might be wrong. There might already be a game. I'm thinking Vermintide 2 that just came out a couple weeks ago. My roommate's been playing that like crazy. That might actually have RNG. I'd have to look more into it, but I'm not quite sure. It's got an interesting.
I think the closest you're gonna get is probably Borderlands, which of course is a shooter,
Yeah.
But the next Borderlands, I think was announced, but that's going to be huge. I mean, huge. But yeah. I mean, and you brought up Destiny, and the trick with Destiny, like you say, with fixed roles, is there's a finite amount of everything. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Diablo. We get all the gear we need. What else is there? Well, there's ancients, there's primals. You augment them, you get more powerful, you get further in the GRs and that type of thing. Fine.
Yep.
But seasons is what cured all that, because you start over. Back in the old days, vanilla, we ran the chapters over and over, and we thought that was great until we were like totally bored to tears, and then we had adventure mode, and we thought, oh, we can go into the separate, sessions, fine, and then rifts and G-rifts and on and on. So, but yeah, I mean, and it may not be worth fixing. I think, having an elective mode is great. If they add another mode to have the sub runes, so have runes and then sub runes, and you have to enable that mode, and the hipsters won't enable that mode, fine. Stick with just your regular runes.
The hipsters.
So, and I would probably be one of those. I'd be like, you know what? I don't need more choices. I like one or two choices, makes my life easy. Hamburgers, hot dogs, done. So personally, like say Borderlands, it just blew me away when they're like, you got 40 billion types of guns and stuff. I said, no, thank you. I don't need some weird purple gun that's a pistol that's more powerful than this killer machine gun that I have. That makes no sense. Come on, let's be realistic.
Yeah. It's definitely something.
Borderlands. To get back into the Diablo here, I know we're kind of sidestepping around a little bit, but in my opinion, if you're of the opinion that Diablo don't take skill, you need to turn the game up and run a harder level, because what I'm running definitely takes skill. And I think I have some of the skill that it takes to play the game at the level that I'm playing. I have a lot of friends that play and have really, really good skill. And I've talked about it before with some of the people. For example, some people are better support people than others. But I think this game does take skill. It just it may just be more hidden, and that's one of the things Blizzard's great at. This game's easy to get into, but it's more difficult to master.
It's I see your point. It's I'm not trying to say that Diablo doesn't take any skill at all. There is skill. It's just not. if you
it's
compare
just different
it to
from
a game
Overwatch,
like Overwatch,
you know?
yeah, Overwatch is just 100% skill. If you don't have any, you're not going to do well. In Diablo, you can do well and just, I mean, you can sit your 4 or 5-year-old kid in front of Diablo and he can beat the game, or she. I mean, it's
Unless the
there
monsters
is
freak
some
them out, you know.
yeah.
That's a little young, maybe. Although
Yeah,
there's going to
that's
be some
true.
5-year-olds that can handle that, and it's all up to the parents. But
Yeah.
yeah, you could.
But
Skill
Great
finish.
Grade, you're right though. You're right. Like especially higher grade rifts, the ones you're pushing. I mean, you've got to dodge. You can't just stand there and tank it. You have to. You've got to have some skill just to survive, let alone kill anything.
With that said, some of the things is luck, because even with skill, even with gear, sometimes you can run into some into you can run into some rifts that make you want to throw your keyboard. I mean, it's sometimes it's one's not bad. Like I can handle 1, 2, 3, but when I burnt 25 keys and I know I can do it, oh, like you had a bad day. Like it's man. That's why I'm glad that I got an expensive keyboard, because if I didn't have an expensive keyboard, I might have keyboard parts all over the floor.
Gotcha. That happens. Happens to some of us. Happens to the best of us. Well, have any more Diablo related news?
I don't think so.
Nothing? All right. Well, other media. Do we have anything else we'd like to share?
I've been watching the Cubs games. Go
All
Cubs,
right.
go!
How are they doing?
Yeah, they're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good. I've actually been like paying attention to it on Twitter, and like I put all the highlights into a moment in one spot because I'm like, go Cubs. You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're doing really good. They made some changes in their lineup, and some players are not there anymore, and they got other new ones in. It's just been fabulous. They're doing great. I was supposed to be playing D&D the other day with some friends, and I'm like, gonna be late. Cubs are winning, 9th inning. Hang on. You know? So yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I've been doing that. The only other thing I'm doing is I've been reading Ready Player One, which I think if you're into it, you've probably already read it. But I'm almost at the end. I think I'm in the last chapter.
Man, you guys
last
are
little bit
beating
there.
me to everything tonight. Oh, you're tearing
And
me
the movie.
up.
And the movie.
I hear
right?
that, the movie is coming out. It's harder for me to get to movies because I have a lot of days where I'm too sick to go outside, but I can read the book. So that's what I'm doing. Now, I've heard the movie and the book are not. Yeah, I've heard the movie and the book are not the same. They don't match perfectly or anything like that. I heard there's a lot of differences. I don't know what the differences are because I haven't seen the movie, but it's an interesting book.
Yeah. I won't get into it, but it was a lot. It was a lot different, but good in both versions.
I think the movie, the special effects would be really interesting, if nothing else.
Oh man, they're gorgeous. I've seen it a few times now, and I read the book 3 times, and I've seen the movie a few times.
Okay.
I'm a big fan. Yeah, but I will. Yes, the movie is about 90% different than the book. But I was talking to my roommate about this, and he brought up a really good point. With this story, for those of you who, well, just a quick synopsis on the story for those of you who have not seen or know anything about Ready Player One. This isn't any spoilers. This is just essentially a guy named Halliday. He made a virtual reality called the Oasis that pretty much, it's a whole nother universe. It's just massive. You can do anything you've ever wanted to do in this universe. Well, when he dies, and it's not a spoiler. It happens like the first 30 seconds of the book and the movie. But he dies, and when he dies, everybody in the world gets an email from him saying that he has hidden an Easter egg somewhere in the Oasis, and the first person to find it gets all of his money and his company, which is about $240 billion worth. So obviously everybody essentially on the planet is trying to search for this egg. So that's the premise of the story. The movie and the book are very, very different, but only in the sense that the challenges are different. Everything else is the same. The characters are the same. Just the story progresses in a different way, but it's still very, very good. The book and the movie, they're separate, but fantastic. The world is just great, and they really did it justice in the movie. I was very impressed with it. But highly recommend you guys watch it and or read the book. So good, so good. That there's already been confirmed a Ready Player 2 that the author I forgot the author's name.
It's I have the book sitting here. Ernest Cline.
Yep, Ernest Cline. He
there you
is
go.
currently in the process of writing Ready Player 2. So I'm excited for that. Yep.
The thing I was wondering is, as you read the book, there's a lot of like geek references to movies and games and stuff. And I was wondering, like, there's even like songs. There's songs, things like that. I'm like, how are they going to get the copyright for all this stuff to put it in the movie? Like, I didn't think that would be possible. Yeah, well, maybe they own some of that stuff, but they don't own all of that stuff, you know?
Yeah, that's what made the movie different, is they got the rights to a ton of things, but not all the same things. So that's honestly why I think one of the number one reasons is why they couldn't do the movie exactly the same as the book, because they couldn't get the same rights. But it's funny, for the things that they didn't get the rights to, because you know what they didn't get the rights to, they still have kind of like a big up yours to the people that they didn't get the rights to. Like, for certain songs, I won't make any other references to this, but for certain songs, they'll have like a poster in the background of like the album.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's about it. But they won't play the song or anything like that, or make any reference to it throughout the entire movie, but they'll have some stuff in the background. But this is definitely,
so if you read the book and then you go see the movie, you could say, okay, there's my clue. Here's what we replaced. You know?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very, very good. They've they got the rights to a lot of things, including a lot of things Blizzard related. There are Overwatch characters in there, StarCraft characters in there. I didn't see any World of Warcraft, but there probably are. There's so many things to see in that movie. You've got to like watch it frame by frame to see everything. It's nuts. But I mean, they've got just Marvel and DC heroes. They've
wow.
It's nuts. Yeah, you see a Tracer running around there several times throughout the movie. And speaking of Borderlands, you see Claptrap in the movie. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Very cool.
But yeah, highly recommend it to everyone. It's awesome. And with that, anybody have anything else? Last call.
Nope.
All right, I'll close this out. You've been listening to episode 161 of the Shattered Soulstone, your Diablo Community Podcast. Missed an episode? You can find the show blog and listen to the show archives at www.shatteredsoulstone.com. With your support, you can help the show grow. Become a patron today, patreon.com/soulstone. Come join us in-game. Our in-game community and clan, both named Shattered Soulstone, are open to anyone who would like to join. You can also join us on Discord for the ultimate team and community-based experience. Find the Discord invitation link on our Twitter and Facebook page, as well as on the Shattered Soulstone website itself. This show is powered by you, the listener. Send in your contributions, thoughts, questions, and feedback to show@shatteredsoulstone.com, or you can post that stuff on the Discord channel as well. We love Twitter. Come join and tweet with us. You can find the show Twitter at Shattered Soulstone. Vesper is at Vespertilio1189, and Dead Greed is at DeadGreed1812. Manlow, do you have one?
At Manlow.
Okay. Manlow is at Manlow, and Jen, everybody knows how to find Jen on Twitter. Let's be honest here.
People found me today when I posted the photo of the shirt, so I guess you're right. I didn't think so. But there it was.
We didn't even go over that. We got tweets. It was about Jen's shirt.
Yeah, I thought it'd be funny if I did a little picture wearing the Shattered Soulstone shirt. I took a photo, I put it on Twitter, and just wrote, "Oh, wearing this today for reasons." And I got some feedback of like, "Oh, okay," and it was fast. It was like really fast. Yeah, it was kind of a surprise. So thanks to everybody that did that. That kind of made me crack up.
Yep. It's awesome. I couldn't believe it. It's great. Man, we need you to start tweeting for us, and people might actually start writing to the show again. and
Maybe.
Send emails, tweets, Facebook messages, anything.
Email.
All right, moving on. You can find the show Facebook page at facebook.com/Soulstone, Shattered Soulstone, bleh. And Vespertilio is at facebook.com/Vespertilio1189. I think I'm the only one with Facebook here.
I'm not on Facebook. Nope.
It's funny because the only thing I do on Facebook is check the Shattered Soulstone page, and there's never anything new. So,
look, people, I'm gonna put it out right now. Check it out. Vespertilio loves Facebook. Facebook, the Facebook, all the Facebook stuff to Vespertilio. He loves that stuff. He loves reading it. He loves watching videos. It's just
you
put
can
it all
watch
on there.
videos on Facebook.
Only ones with cats in them.
There you go.
Gotcha. We would like to extend a huge thank you to Medros of Dawnforge Productions for hosting our Loot Deviant show. You can find more shows from the Dawnforge at www.thedawnforge.com. Thank you for listening. Until next time, from all of us here at the Shattered Soulstone, over 160 episodes for your listening pleasure. Dawnforge.
Dawnforge.
Oh, perfect. All right. That was definitely a unique outro that time. It's pretty awesome.
It's a little different.
Yeah, a little different than usual.
Yeah.
Still,
for all the people who think we just have two bumpers.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to stop recording now.
Okay.
All right. Let me hit save before that disappears. Well, this was fun.
Excuse me.
Yeah, what a great show.
It was.
This was really fun. Yeah.
You got a treat. Got the old gin back on, and
a
treat for the listeners. So that's cool.
I hope they're happy about it. I think there might be.
I totally was not gonna bring up your lore corner, just because. I mean, I knew you were working on it.
Last time I talked to you, that's as far as I was. I'm going to get this done. And then,
I wasn't gonna put you on the spot for it. I was just
right.
I figured
as far as you knew, I was still working on it, but
I figured if you were ready, you would go with it. If not, well, that's cool too. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, I got it, so it'll be up Wednesday, and it'll be on my website, and
I'm excited.
Nowhere else,
I'm
actually.
excited.
So.
Good.
Yeah.
Jen, it's been killing me for months, waiting for your approval to mention something on the show. Like every time I record, I think about it. Yes, you did. You told me.
I did.
It had to have been.
It was probably
been
January or something, or maybe more. Yeah. Well, I think
it was a long time ago.
Part of it was I got sick, and I have chronic illnesses, and they've just been demons lately. So, for a long time actually, and there's a lot of chronic pain and stuff. So it's like, I'm not going to work on the podcast right now, kind of thing. But, yeah, and then. This year I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then I got a lot of work in January and February. I do freelance writing, and it was like, it took everything, So it'll be up on Wednesday, the first episode, and then it'll be one every month after that, generally aiming for the first week of the month.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, I've got a crying baby in the other room, so I better bounce. So I will... And her name's Jen.
Maybe his name Jen. See, there's a lot of people named Jen. We are Legion. We are everywhere.
My wife's name is Jen, and my current foster child's name is Jen. Kind of a trip.
Yeah.
We are Legion. We are everywhere. Oh my
yes.
God. Oh, that's great. That is really great.
Well,
Perfect.
good show, guys.
Yeah.
I'll catch you guys in the Discord hopefully later.
Sounds good.
All right. See you later.
See ya. Oh man, we're definitely gonna have to get some more, or we're gonna have to get you back on the show at some point to check in every once in a while.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, just like let me know. Like when you don't have a guest, give me a few weeks, and then I'll have something to say again. I hope as far as what I'm doing in T3.
All right.
Yeah, it was easier this time because I hadn't been on in a while. So it's like, oh, I got this and this and this, but week to week, I don't know.
Ooh, I just did something stupid. Woo, that was dumb.
What did you do?
I freaked myself out. I was like, hey, I'll put the recording in the Dropbox real quick because I'm gonna be smooth, right? And I opened up all my files and I went to the spot where it's supposed to, and it wasn't there, and I was like, oh my god, what happened? No! I didn't record the damn show. We're still recording the show, actually.
Oh, so there's no file waiting for you. It's still growing.
It's not there yet.
Yeah, I stopped recording when we stopped the show. So.
Yeah, but I have to kill Skype and then restart Skype, but which is whatever.
Right.
It'll be there here in a minute. But I was just like, oh my god, how the hell do we have Jen here and I don't have the damn recording?
Jeez.
Especially after the whole speech of I got it.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I did record my own track, but that wouldn't help you if you lost all that,
We just have to rip the audio file from the.
No, we could do it. I was just like, oh my god! I just told her that I got it. Now look at this. I'm like, Jesus, what in the heck?
Yeah, it's always good to have a backup anyway. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah, we're gonna need to maybe hint for the future, sometime maybe distant, maybe not be. I don't know, but it'd be really cool to get all 4 of the original hosts back on here at the same time for an episode. That'd be so cool, like a Christmas special or something.
Oh my gosh! Well, see, that'd be hard though, because I think the other guys, they all got kids. So I mean, do it around Christmas. It's gonna be hard to schedule. But
no! If you have a Christmas special, you record that months ahead of time and then just release it on Christmas.
That's probably true. Yeah. Yeah. So you have to come up with topics to talk about that aren't specifically like, what'd you do this week? Because it'd be updated by then.
Exactly. Yeah. No, we just have an episode where we just get everybody together and just I can't cuss. Shoot the blank, you know what goes there. Just hang out and talk and have a good time.
Just a reunion show.
Yeah, reunion show.
Yeah, why not?
Yep. Get to experience have all the new listeners get caught up with the 4 original hosts and explain some of the inside jokes that maybe they don't know about, like the red
like the
wine.
Red wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first one I thought of.
Yep.
One real quick thing before we get out of here. I know you founded the show. I know you're not doing it because of health reasons and all that. And I know that Vespertilio has come, and then I've come, and Manny's been here for a few episodes. But honestly, I appreciate it because, the community was kind of down a little bit when we came back and started up when I started. And, we've really been building our community, but wouldn't have had nothing to build on if it wouldn't have been for y'all. So that's, a high five for y'all because that was.
That's nice to hear. That's really nice to hear.
And that's one of the reasons why I was happy to come on and help and host or whatever, when Vesper's not here. Because, I loved the show. It was awesome. And I wanted to see it keep going. And I'm really happy to help. But honestly, I wouldn't have had nothing to start with if it wouldn't have been for y'all. So thanks.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, it means a lot that everybody still's into the show, because a lot of times with podcasts, if you have all the hosts disappear and new people come in, sometimes the show don't go. You know?
Yep.
And y'all have been keeping it alive, so.
That was a big worry, especially when I was in Georgia. The show fell on hard times for a while.
Yeah, well, it did in the past when, like life gets in the way. And all 4 of the original hosts have had life get in the way one way or another. I mean, it happens,
Yep.
I really got a lot of, especially this week or the last couple of weeks, for some reason, I really got a lot of positive comments about our weekly schedule. A lot of people like that. We're the only Diablo podcast that does weekly. Everybody else does bi-weekly or monthly. So, we got that, so that's cool. And, we're back up to 60 people in Discord, and we're
awesome.
trucking right along. Amazing. And 60 may not sound like a big number to some people, but for me, I'm happy about that.
Oh yeah,
it's good.
Same here.
I'm starting to recognize the names a little bit more too, because I've been in and out of the Discord. I haven't really said anything in there yet, but I see people and I'm like, oh, okay, I know who that one is. I know who that one is. It's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. We've got quite the community coming in here. I don't know. I'm kind of in my head competing with our server compared to the other servers that I'm in.
Oh.
so like right now, All Things Azeroth is the only one that we haven't passed up, and we're gaining. We've got 60, and they've got I think 72. So we're real close.
It's close, yeah. I'll try to pop in from time to time when I can.
I should invite you to convert to Ray, brother.
Speaking of, did you?
Oh yeah, I went on that. Yeah.
Get on the show, yeah.
Yeah, I was on that. It was, it was all right. I wanted to talk more about the show. I wanted to talk about this, but they kind of, they do what they do, and. I did get some plugs in, and we talked about some Diablo stuff. It was a good time. It was fun, They, especially Sal, because I've known Sal for years. I've known a lot of those people for years, and we kind of went back and forth with some of our old banter a little bit, and it was a lot of fun. And we'll probably. I mean, I know a lot of those people play Diablo, and those people are highly into podcasting, and probably a lot of those people didn't know that we have a podcast. So, I'll plug the show, and, I just want to go on there just to tell people, hey, this is, we're still over here. We're still doing it, and, subscribe again, and you're going to get more podcasts. And, even if it's just me on a solo or whatever.
Which you did well, by the way. I've done a couple solo shows, and I think yours was more entertaining than mine.
Oh, I was so worried about that because, man, I really thought I did I actually recorded it 4 times, actually.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see, that's more than I would have done, but I've been podcasting since 2005, and some of the shows I did were solo shows all the time. So I've got a bit of experience, and, for you jumping in and doing that on your own there, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't like the solo show, but the fans are more important than that to me, so I'll try to put something together if people are busy or whatever. And Manlow's always willing to help me, and I've got other people that are, I can always pull in and just do a community spotlight, something like that. Mm-hmm. And like I was saying before, people were saying, Diablo's on the downturn. You're not gonna have.
They say that all the time,
Yeah, a lot of people tell me, you're not gonna have enough to talk about for a weekly show, and they don't know me.
Yeah, there's always something. It's always something. And Soulstone from the very beginning was community driven.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
Exactly. It's all about what are you doing in game, who you playing with, what you do, that kind of thing, and it all works out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But anyway, thank you very, very much. I know I contacted you. It was I just threw a shot in the dark out there.
Yeah, Yeah, well, I've been meaning to, like, when I stopped because I couldn't keep up. Like, I can't physically do weekly shows. That's just not.
Oh no, I don't mean that. I'm just saying.
You're not asking that, I know, but I've been thinking about, like, okay, at some point, I want to come into a guest thing once in a while, and it just kind of, you just asked, and I'm like, why not? So it worked. Thanks for asking me.
Anytime you'd like to drop in as a guest, just shoot one of us a message, and I mean, you're always welcome. Yeah, you can. I mean, even if we've got another guest lined up too, you can drop in as well. Like, it doesn't matter.
I don't want
to
foreshadow your other guests, though. You know. I mean,
don't worry about that. Anytime,
Yep.
you know, anytime you got any more news, you want to promote one of your extra podcasts, Lower Corner podcast, just jump in. Even if you just jumped in for 5 minutes and was like, yeah, I got a new podcast, and, you know, I got a new episode of my podcast about Deckard Cain or whatever the case may be, for example.
I haven't covered him yet, but
no, I just mean like, you know, later,
right?
Whatever,
yes.
Whoever, Adrian, whatever, whatever the case may be, you know, you could just, even if you just jumped in for a few minutes and was like, hey guys, I got a new thing. It's on this. This is where you can get it. We can always throw you into a segment, and you don't have to be for the whole show, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or we can just promote it, whichever, however you want to do it, whatever.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that makes sense. I mean, I could theoretically once my little Lore Corner thing starts rolling, when I get like 3 or 4 of them out again, I could come back and be like, oh, hey, there's this thing, you know.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Like, you know, just to.
Yeah.
Basically, what I'm saying is you're always welcome, I guess. It's
Thank
a really
you.
long way of saying that.
Well, it's nice to hear. If I could do more, I would. But
you're great.
I have health issues, and none of them are curable, and none of them will kill you. Well, some of the allergies might, but so it's just kind of like day to day, you know.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm glad you were good enough to do it today, so I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
Great.
I'll
another
be
great
tired
show.
for days, man. I'll be tired for days, but it's worth it. So.
And cool that it was one. You know, cool that it was. That it was, you know, we just did it and it's nice and got it knocked out.
Yeah, it worked out good. It was fun. It was really fun. All right, so I'll be editing this later, I assume, in some part. You know?
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, well, I don't know about you guys, but I got to be up very early tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Yeah. Me too.
I've got to get going.
Okay.
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right.
All right.
You
See
too.
you later.
Thank you very much again, Jen. Thanks for coming on the show and creating this amazing podcast.
Oh, it wasn't just me. It was a whole team, you know.
Well, they couldn't have done it without you. So. All right. Have a good night.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye, YouTube.
Bye.